The everlasting onion skin. I think that was a bar in London when I was there. The everlasting onion skin. I think it was a pub up in North London. I can't guarantee that, but yeah. And it had this gross, like, onion wrap around the chimney of it, all the way down. No one ever dared touch it, and it was very frail. But I guess it was onion skin. The wind can't break an onion skin; only the human hand can. And so they carefully wrapped this everlasting onion skin around the chimney. Oh, this was a dream. The chimney of this pub up in North London. And it never broke. Nobody ever touched it to break it, and the wind couldn't break it because the wind can't break an onion skin, especially a peeled one, a perfectly peeled everlasting onion skin that it just never stopped. It's a pretty, like a typical British pub that's been around for hundreds of years. The everlasting onion skin. It could have been a dream. I can't remember. I mean, my time there was so dreamlike. It did happen. But I mean, what happened, right? Like, I don't even, like, what happened there? I couldn't tell you, really. I know I had a great time. It was in a way, it was a beginning, a new beginning. I don't know what it was, really. I wasn't thinking this time, but I was having such a good time with myself. Once I had my dark tea time of the soul, or whatever that was, in late February, or I don't know when it was. Middle of February. It might have been the middle of February on a dark 2 a.m. Sun's not coming up for hours in London in February. It's so dark. I just couldn't get to sleep. I had to go to work the next day, which was getting up early and showering in that tiny little shower in that cold bath. Walking myself over to the Imperial War Museum and sitting in there and just taking notes on stuff. I don't even know what I'm doing here. I don't want to be doing this at all. It's like, man, what am I going to do if I don't? Here's the thing, what am I going to do? Right? Because I said this, like, I don't want to be doing what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm not even sure what I'm supposed to be doing in terms of getting this dissertation studied up and prepared to be written up. I don't really even know what I should be doing. I probably don't have enough time to do everything that I need to be doing to write this book, which I don't even really want to be doing any of this stuff. Part of it's because I don't know what I'm doing for sure, but that's not the only part. And either way, I just don't want to be doing it. But what am I going to do with myself if I don't do this? That panic, I felt that panic then. I could feel it. I felt it last week. Today's Sunday. That's the first day of the week, technically, right? So I felt it last Sunday. When I started it, it wasn't the same. It wasn't articulated the same way. Just like it wasn't articulated that way back then, per se. That night. I'm imagining February 16th. I don't know why. I don't know if that's even accurate. But I did have that night. And I had to surrender to it. I surrendered. Or have an anxiety attack. I had to quit the PhD program, which is what I decided to do that night. In my long dark tea time of the soul. Or whatever it is. Long dark night of the soul. Whatever that. Yeah. After then, I started having a great time, so I don't even remember. It was all dreamlike, so I don't know if the everlasting onion skin was an actual pub or an imaginary one. But I imagine that I did have that gross onion skin around the chimney, which is just weird. I didn't, I was a stranger. I think I had, we probably got a pint there, me and my friend, and then we were just pub crawling. It's a little discomforting, maybe, eating inside of an onion skin. Didn't want to talk to anybody about it. Didn't want to be weird with it. So, yeah, that's the way truth is. It's like an everlasting onion skin that you just peel and peel it back, and more truth gets revealed. It's kind of like a spiral that way, too. Because you keep coming around to, like, the front side of that onion when you peel, but it's another layer deep. Depending on how deep that problem goes, another chance you could come right back around that anxiety problem that you had last time from the front of the onion. Anxiety problem. You peel that back and you're like, all right, good. And then you come around, you go another 365 degrees or whatever around that circular part of the onion, another time around the sun. And then you come back to that anxiety problem again, but you're another year of wisdom and experience down the lane, so to speak. So you come across that anxiety, and it's like, imagine like you punctured like a thumbtack or some sort of little sharp needle-ish thing into the onion skin, and then you took it out or whatever. Like, eventually the depth of that hole punch is going to get lesser and lesser. You know what I'm saying? And at some point, maybe not the next year, maybe, I don't know how long it takes. It depends on how deep it goes, that anxiety concern you have. But you come around it every time, every 365 degrees. You know, it's right, like if you could, like, it's kind of like right where San Francisco might be on the map of the onion. You go around the globe of the onion every year, you come back to the anxiety, San Francisco anxiety. No, I think I like San Francisco, probably one of my favorite cities, so that's not a slight to it. It's just what came into my head. As far as you could put a map on the onion, it would be North America, because that's where I'm from, and then it would be San Francisco is what came to my head. And you put a thumbtack in there, push pin, but then you take it out, all that's left is a hole. And every time you peel it back, you got to deal with the anxiety problem, a different iteration of it, right? But like each time you peel that onion back, you got a year's more worth of experience. And so that anxiety problem isn't so acute, but it's still there. And so you learn from it and you go around the globe again. And then the next time it's come around to San Francisco again, San Francisco anxiety problem. It's not so bad at all this time. You recognize it because, you know, you're more attuned with yourself overall. But it doesn't even feel like the same one two peels ago, 2 onion peels ago. You know, another 1.5 foot up that chimney, where I don't know how long that peel gets around that chimney, but you know, and it's not so bad anymore. And then like you kind of start to forget it. And other cities also in North America and across the world, all little pinpricks, different depths. Some of them are still kind of acute. Maybe you get to that one in let's see, what's in Mauritius, that little island in the Indian Ocean. Mauritius one's a deeper one. Maybe that's a fear of death or something, right? Some of these are problems that are human psychology level. Like everybody has a fear of death you have to deal with, right? Yeah, that fear takes a little bit longer to go through, but each time I get to it, it eases it up. At a certain point, San Francisco is going to disappear from the map. It's just going to be a memory of, it's going to be a good memory, actually. You would think it would be a bad one, anxiety, right? But no, it became a good memory because it became my teacher. And at the end, the thumbtack the push pin didn't punch through this level of the skin, but it punched in a little bit, but it didn't go through. You could see the final, this was it. And I knew it, and anxiety knew it. And, you know, we've gone around and around a little bit. We got to know each other. We learned from each other. I learned from anxiety, and now anxiety became a teacher and a good friend. And I just remember the good times with anxiety, which is as I was unraveling what anxiety did for me and how it helped me get over my fears. And so, yeah, that's a good memory. But yeah, San Francisco itself, my onion skin is unpunctured where San Francisco used to be anymore. I don't have fears of that anxiety anymore. Similarly, other problems, not all of them yet, maybe soon, I hope. And then that onion's just going to keep going because it's an everlasting onion skin, and you just keep peeling it back every time. But anytime you got, you know, every moment is an opportunity for the universe to push your buttons, to find out where you know, so the longer you do this, the fewer buttons you have to push, and you're freer and freer, and you just keep being freer, and things are like just awesome all the time. Even when they're not awesome, it's just awesome, right? Like that's what you want to get to, right? Like a Buddha, that's the Buddha onion, right? But the Buddha's onion's an everlasting onion skin also. I think that Buddha's, I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like there's no end to how much onion you could peel. But at a certain point you get to a place on that onion where it's, you know, the fresh part of the onion maybe, you know, like when we're cooking a meal with it, which I never did, but my parents did, so I sometimes saw them peel an onion, and like after a while that dry skin comes off, and then it's thicker. The white part of the onion, you cook with that part, you eat that. Like it's really rich and delicious. Maybe that's what the Buddha onion is. It's the part where like every moment of your onion at that point is just blissful. Not out of ignorance, but out of pure just abiding in your onion. You just abide. Your onion is made of peace and happiness, and you just abide in the onion as the onion, not the skin anymore. You get to the Buddha onion. And that's what peace permanently is, and your happiness. And people do this. People are in their own Buddha onions, more and more of them. I'm getting close. I feel like I'm getting pretty close all of a sudden. Not to jinx the fates or tempt things. I start to just feel at ease with my life situation. So pretty soon this onion metaphor is going to absolutely just fall off the table. We're not going to be able to use the onion anymore. But I'm going to start Buddha onioning it. I think that's a new, is that a gerund of a noun? I'm going to turn the Buddha onion concept into a verb. Buddha, did he Buddha onion? Did you see it? Of course he did. That's pretty, not very, I don't know if that's very good either. It was better. That's a little better. That little red stripe. Okay, it's a Mondrian right there. Let me get out of the way of it. Look at that, how beautiful that is. Now that's a Mondrian. Piet, I think his name is. That artist guy. Mondrian. He made the shapes, colored, like the squares, and then there would be like usually like maybe like another smaller square like there, and then that's colored blue, and then there's a smaller one there, and then a tiny. But I think he made different ones. He did. That weren't as complicated.